Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Gurvimanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadev, the author. Nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I offer in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Hare Krishna. So today we are going to summarize Canto 7, Chapter 4, 5 and 6. So we will be reading the summary of Chapter 4, 5 and 6. So if we can get the summary of Chapter 4, Canto 7.
The science of God.
Yeah.
Canto.
Alright, anybody would like to read the summary? Yeah, you can go ahead.
This chapter fully describes how Hiranyakashipu obtained power from Lord Brahma and misused it by harassing all the living entities within his universe, this universe. By severe austerities, Hiranyakashipu satisfied Lord Brahma and obtained the benedictions he desired. After he received these benedictions, his body, which had been almost entirely consumed, was revived with full beauty and luster like gold. Nonetheless, he continued to be envious of Lord Vishnu, unable to forget Lord Vishnu's having killed his brother. Hiranyakashipu conquered everyone in the 10 directions and the 3 worlds and brought all living entities, both demigods and asuras, under his control, becoming the master of all places, including the residents of Indra, whom he had driven out. He began enjoying life in great luxury and thus became mad. All the demigods but Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva came under his control and began serving him. But despite all his material power, he was dissatisfied because he was always puffed up, proud of transgressing the Vedic regulations. All the Brahmanas were dissatisfied with him, and they cursed him with determination. Eventually, all the living entities within the universe, represented by the demigods and sages, prayed to the Supreme Lord for relief from Hiranyakashipu's rule. Lord Vishnu informed the demigods that they and the other living entities would be saved from the fearful conditions created by Hiranyakashipu. Since Hiranyakashipu was the oppressor of all the demigods, the followers of the Vedas, the cows, the Brahmanas, and the religious saintly persons, and since he was envious of the Supreme Lord, he would naturally be killed very soon. Hiranyakashipu's last exploit would be torment his own son Prahlad, who was Mahabhagavat. and exalted Vaishnava. Then his life would end. When the demigod's birth was reassured by Supreme Personality of Godhead, everyone was satisfied, knowing that the miseries inflicted upon them by Hiranyakashipu would come to an end. Finally, Narada Muni describes the characteristics of Prahlad Maharaj, the son of Hiranyakashipu, and describes how his father envied his own qualified son. And this way the chapter ends.
And summary of chapter 5. Yeah.
Chapter 5. Prahlad Maharaj, the son of Hiranyakashipu. Prahlad Maharaj did not carry out the orders of his teachers, for he was always engaged in worshipping Lord Vishnu. As described in this chapter, Hiranyakashipu tried to kill Prahlad Maharaj, even by having a snake bite him and by putting him under the feet of elephants. Yet he was unsuccessful. Hiranyakashipu's spiritual master, Shukracharya, had two sons named Sanda and Amarka, to whom Prahlad Maharaj was entrusted for education. Although the teachers tried to educate the boy Prahlad in politics, economics, and other material activities, he did not care for their instructions. Instead, he continued to be a pure devotee. Prahlad Maharaj never liked the idea of discriminating between one's friends and enemies. Because he was spiritually inclined, he was equal toward everyone. Once upon a time, Hiranyakashipu inquired from his son what the best thing was that he had learned from his teachers. Prahlad Maharaj replied that a man engrossed in the material consciousness of duality, thinking, "This is mine and that belongs to my enemy," should give up his householder life and go to the forest to worship the Supreme Lord. When Hiranyakashipu heard from his son about devotional service, he decided that this small boy had been polluted by some friend in school. Thus, he advised the teacher to take care of the boy so that he would not become a Krishna conscious devotee. However, when the teachers inquired from Prahlad Maharaj why he was going against their teachings, Prahlad Maharaj taught the teachers that the mentality of ownership is false and that he was therefore trying to become an unhonored devotee of Lord Vishnu. The teachers, being very angry at this answer, chastised and threatened the boy with many fearful conditions. They taught him to the best of their ability and then brought him before his father. Hiranyakashipu affectionately took his son Prahlad on his lap and then inquired from him what the best thing was that he had learned from his teachers. As usual, Prahlad Maharaj became praising the 9 processes of devotional service, such as Shravanam and Kirtanam. Thus, the king of the demon, Hiranyakashipu, being extremely angry, chastised the teachers Chanda and Amarka for having wrongly trained Prahlad Maharaj. The so-called teachers informed the king that Prahlad Maharaj was automatically a devotee and did not listen to their instructions. When they proved themselves innocent, Hiranyakashipu inquired from Prahlad where he had learned Vishnu Bhakti. Prahlad Maharaj replied that those who are affectionate to family life do not develop Krishna consciousness, either personally or collectively. Instead, they suffer repeated birth and death in this material world and continue simply chewing the chew. Prahlad explained that the duty of every man is to take shelter of a pure devotee and thus become eligible to understand Krishna consciousness. Enraged at this answer, Hiranyakashipu threw Prahlad Maharaj from his lap. Since Prahlad was treacherous that he had become a devotee of Vishnu who had killed his uncle Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu asked his assistants to kill him. The assistants of Hiranyakashipu struck Prahlad with sharp weapons, threw him under the feet of elephants, subjected him to hellish conditions, threw him from the peak of a mountain, and tried to kill him in thousands of other ways, but they were unsuccessful. Hiranyakashipu therefore became increasingly afraid of his son Prahlad Maharaj and arrested him. The sons of Hiranyakashipu's spiritual master, Shukracharya, began teaching Prahlad in their own way, but Prahlad Maharaj did not accept their instructions. While the teachers were absent from the classroom, Prahlad Maharaj began to preach Krishna consciousness in the school, and by his instructions, all his class friends, the son of demons, become devotees like him.
And the summary of chapter 6. Yeah, Venkatesh Babu, go ahead.
This chapter describes Prahlad Maharaj's instructions to his class friends. In speaking to his friends, who were all sons of demons, Prahlad Maharaj stressed that every living entity, especially in human society, must be interested in spiritual realization from the very beginning of life. When human beings are children, they should be taught that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the worshipable deity for everyone. One should not be very much interested in material enjoyment. Instead, one should be satisfied with whatever material profits are easily obtainable, and because the duration of one's life is very short, one should utilize every moment for spiritual advancement. One may wrongly think in the beginning of our lives, let us enjoy material facilities, and in old age we may become Krishna consciousness. Such materialistic thoughts are always useless because in old age one cannot be trying in a spiritual way of life. Therefore, from the very beginning of life, one should engage in devotional service. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. This is the duty of all living entities. Material education is infected by the three modes of nature, but spiritual education, for which there is a great need in human society, is transcendental. Prahlad Maharaj disclosed the secret of how he had received instructions from Narada Muni. By accepting the lotus feet of Prahlad Maharaj, who is in the Parampara section, one will be able to understand the mode of spiritual life. In accepting this mode of activity, there is no need for material qualification. After Prahlad Maharaj's class, friends had listened to Prahlad Maharaj. They inquired how he had become so learned and advanced. In this way, the chapter ends.
Jai. So in this Canto 7, we see how earlier we had seen how Hiranyakashipu was very angry when his brother Hiranyaksh was, died because Vishnu had killed him in the form of Bor Varadev, and he was trying to pacify his mother and sister-in-law that the soul is eternal, and he was giving them examples of different other things. But all the way he was very angry with Lord Vishnu, and then he started doing meditation in the Mandara mountain, where he was meditating for around 36,000 years, and the meditation was so intense that his head became so hot that the three worlds became so hot, and the demigods then went to Lord Brahma and prayed to him that please go and see, can you just pacify him. So Lord Brahma went to Hiranyakashipu, and then he knew that he wanted a benediction of becoming immortal. But Lord Brahma told him that I am not immortal myself, so I am not able to give you this benediction. So then Hiranyakashipu said, all right, that's fine. Maybe you can give me a benediction that I may not die in the day, in the night, in the inside or the outside, not by a human being, not by animal. So all these kinds of permutations and combinations he came up so that he becomes immortal. And after that benediction, he had conquered everyone, the asuras, demigods, and everyone were worshipping him. He had also conquered Lord Indra, and he used to be in his palace, and all the demigods and the apsaras and everyone, Vishnugans, everyone used to come and glorify him a lot. And he used to be always intoxicated with wine, but still like people used to come to just glorify him. And then we see in the next chapter how in chapter 5 we see how he was trying to kill Prahlad Maharaj, who was one of the Mahajans, and he was a very great exalted devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he used to ask his son, okay, what did you learn today? And he used to always give him preaching of Lord Vishnu, that how we should preach and worship Lord Vishnu, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. But then Hiranyakashipu was very much angered by his whatever he used to say about Lord Vishnu, because he was much very envious of Lord Vishnu, and because he had killed his brother. And then he summoned his teachers as well, his spiritual masters, Shukracharya's sons, Sanda and Amarka. They were his teachers, and he then summoned them and told them that what are you teaching him? But they informed him that we are teaching him about politics and economic development and all those material subjects, and we don't know where he is being taught all this. And they inspected that there might be some other students who might be polluting him. So then they made sure that they teach him, personally, and make sure that he understands all these material subjects. But then again, after teaching him so much, when the teacher used to ask him what did he learn, he used to always praise the supreme personality of Godhead, and he used to always mention that this life is very short, and we should use this life to just worship Lord Vishnu and chant his names. And then the teacher's asking, like, why are you saying like this? Why are you not, whatever we are teaching, why are you not answering those things and talking about that, and always talking about Lord Vishnu? So he then replied that you won't understand because you are discriminating between friends and enemy, and that you are having a thing of ownership, where this is mine, this is yours. So there is nothing mine and yours, everything is Lord Krishna, and we should engage each and everything in his worship. And then in the next chapter 6, we see that how Prahlad Maharaj is educating his fellow classmates about Lord Vishnu and making them devotees himself. And that chapter has a lot of lessons for us, and how we have to understand that we are in this material life, but we don't have to get engaged so much engrossed in that we forget Lord Vishnu, that we have to take his names and chant his names and do devotional service. And we see that how the politicians and erudite scholars manipulate the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita to make sure that it's focused to their material gains and satisfaction. But bhakti amam abhijananti, the devotional service will only come to those who are engaged in the service of Lord Vishnu. So these politicians and erudite scholars, they will not understand the real meaning of Bhagavad Gita, and they will be only being concocting whatever they understand for their material benefits. So it is very important to us that we understand that this knowledge is very important, and we make sure that it also mentions about chewing the chewed, punara charvita charvananam. For example, I give you a sugar cane and ask you to chew it. Now once you have get that juice, you have suck that juice out of the sugar cane, I asked you again to suck that same sugar cane again. Would you enjoy getting the juice out of it? No, right? Because you have already gained the juice out of it, it's no use of chewing it again and again. So that is how similarly we as species in this material world, we have been taking birth after birth, but even after engaging in sense gratification in all the births, we still don't understand that we will not get satisfied with whatever kind of sense gratification we do. So it's important for us that we understand that it's better that we focus our time in devotional service, right? And Rupa Goswami mentions in Nectar of Devotion, verse number 2, the 6 kinds of activities which will help us in increasing our devotional service. Can anybody name what are the 6 kinds of activities? Yeah.
Doing what is favorable for the devotional service.
Yeah, doing what is favorable for devotional service. Yes.
Serving the devotees of God.
Serving the devotees. Okay. Anybody else?
Rejecting what is unfavorable.
Yeah, rejecting what is unfavorable. Yeah, that's right. So the 6 kinds of activities which mentioned in the Nectar of Instruction was eating and collecting money almost only that much which is enough for you. Second one was not over endeavoring for mundane things. The third one was talking unnecessarily regarding mundane subject matters. The fourth one was practicing spiritual rules for the sake of advancement in spiritual advancement, and not just for the sake of following rules. The fifth one was associating with devotees, and the last one was to not being greedy. So here we see that we are always over endeavoring for money. We see a lot of people like over endeavor for money, but the thing that they don't understand that you don't need to over endeavor, right? Because what we are destined to get, we will get that. So it's no use of over endeavoring for something. if you are destined, but what are the virus inside we have is a greed. The greed we that we want more. If we have 500 rupees, if we have $500, we want 5,000 rupees, $5,000. If we have $5,000, we want 5 lakh dollars. If we have 5 lakh dollars, we want 5 lakh crores dollars. So in that way, we see that we are not satisfied with whatever money we have. And if we go and ask the rich person that, you have so much money, and why do you want to earn, more, you want to earn more money, this is sufficient for whatever you have. And we tell them, oh, you should come for the morning program and attend, but they will come and say that, no, I don't have time for that. So so I don't understand that, they are also going to have like the same amount of food that we will get. It's not that if they earn more and more money, they are going to have more and more food. The food is only a little bit only sufficient for them. So, but what they don't understand that gaining more and more money is not going to get them to satisfaction, but they are just over endeavoring more and more for it. And so it is also mentioned that Narad Muni says in the Canto 1 and chapter 5 that whatever we are destined to get, the material gain, happiness and distress, that we will get, right? So we don't over endeavor, we don't endeavor for distress, but still we get it right. So then why do we, over endeavor for happiness? We are going to get that happiness. But then people say that no, okay, now I will over endeavor, now I will get distress, but then later on I will get happiness. This is what they are, going through distress for money and everything, but they don't understand that they will get what they are destined to get. This is based according to the karma phala. Like whatever pious previous activities you have done, according to that you will get your money, your happiness and distress. So it's no use that you go and over endeavoring. You might have seen in workplaces, in schools, that when suppose you're a student, that some students don't study that much, but still they get so much good marks, right? Because they are destined to get that really good marks. Even in workplace, you see that some people are not working that much hard, but still they get more than you, right? Sometimes you will see that, oh, someone is working so hard and someone is working so little, but still that person who is working very little is getting more. Why? Because he is destined to get that. So it doesn't make sense that how much over endeavor you. Instead, we should utilize that time and energy in doing the devotional service of the Lord. That will only help us more, right? So that is what Prahlad Maharaj also says, that Durlabha Manusha Janma. Each and every moment is very important, and we have to make sure that we utilize each and every moment very nicely, like to make sure that we don't waste it, because a moment which has gone will not come back, however much money you pay for to get that. So you have to understand that time is more valuable than money, but we don't understand that we give more value to money and less value to time. So that is why it's mentioned right in the summary of the chapter 6 also, that we have to start devotional service from the very beginning. Now when we are born, from the age of 1 to 10, we are in the childhood, so we don't understand that much, and that is wasted. Then from childhood to for coming in the teenagers age to like 20 years of age, it's gone like in the student life and everything, and so we have simply wasted our 20 years of life. And then the last 20 years of life, even in the old age, that will be, we will be in distress, we will be in disease and everything, so that is also gone. So we have very less time left. So people who are thinking that, oh, now we will work hard and gain money, and then later on we might do devotional service, it's very difficult for them to understand that that the knowledge which we get in this devotional service, in the service, in whatever the shastric injunctions are there, they are helpful to us in this material world which we are living in. They will help us to get out of whatever distress we have, to understand that why are we getting all these distress, to get out of this anxiety. Because people don't understand outside that why are they getting this distress, even after over endeavoring so much and everything. But once you understand that the distress which you're getting is according to your karma phal, then you don't get that much anxious. Then you are calmed, and then you think about that, okay, I have got this distress, that is fine, but you have to also understand that this distress, whatever you're getting, is temporary. and you are going to get out of it. But people don't understand that. They think that, oh, now I'm in distress, and now we are seeing like so many kinds of issues people are having with mental health. People are going in, they're having depression and everything. That's because they don't understand that this love, whatever is happening is temporary. Whatever situation you are in is temporary, and you will get out of it. And that is why that should be your focus, that okay, instead of overthinking that, why am I in this situation and how to get out of this situation, use that time in the devotional service of the Lord, and you will automatically get out of that distress, is what we have to understand. Even Chanakya Pandit has said that, our duration of a life is limited and we are destined. So it's very important that we utilize this life, which is very limited and destined, in using in the devotional service of the Lord. And even Narottam Das Thakur, he is singing that, O Hari Vifale Janma Goinu. Hari Hari Vifale Janma Goinu. O Lord Hari, I am simply wasting my time. मनुष्य जन्म पाया राधा कृष्ण ना भजिया जानिया सुनिया विषया खाइनु. I have got this human being life of a human being, and I'm not chanting the names of the Lord, and I'm simply drinking poison. This is what Narottam Das Thakur, he is one of the greatest acharyas. If he is thinking like that, what is the situation of us? So we have to understand that each and every moment is important, and we have to make sure that we are always engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is what Prahlad Maharaj is teaching his classmates as well, that we have to do Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling us that, Kirtanya Sadahari. We have to chant the names of the Lord, and then only we will get out of it. Because the time which we have got right now is very valuable, as I had mentioned, right? And we will not get it back. So people who are over endeavoring for money, they should understand that it's not required. We should only have that much money which is required, and utilize the rest of the time in chanting the names of the Lord. And then we will understand that everything others is that, it's just mundane. So we should always understand that being as a devotee in Krishna consciousness, we should have a growth mindset and not a fixed mindset, right? So we have to understand that a difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset, right? A fixed mindset is a person who doesn't want to change, and he will just go with the flow, and he will think, oh, I'm destined to have distress, I'm destined to have this, but he will not get, he will not think that how can I get out of it, how can I improve myself. But a person in a growth mindset, he thinks that, how can I improve myself, how can I make sure that I'm utilizing my time perfectly. So one of the key things which Benjamin Franklin has said that he said that there are some people who die in 25 but get buried in 75. Now, according to you, what does that mean?
Even he's died, and like his name is still he's popular, and like people are taking him as a motivation or something.
Right. Yeah, you were saying something?
Yeah, I guess I misunderstood. It's like people before the time comes, they start stressing about things.
Right. Yeah. So we see that, people are just living their life just the way it is flowing, and they are not taking control of their life. And instead, life is taking their control. And their life becomes so mechanical that they are just living their life. They are simply wasting their life. But they don't understand that after millions of births that we have got this life, and we don't have to, waste it. That's simply just living it just the way, and just the way it's just going with the flow. If you have heard that phrase, going with the flow, you have seen like many people, this is going on, that is going on, I'm just living my life, and I don't know what direction it is. Whatever direction it is going, I'm doing that. Now suppose you are watching a movie, and there is a delay of 3 seconds in the dubbed in the voice. Wouldn't you feel very annoying? right? So similarly, people also, like, they are living their life, and then it's just very annoying. But we have to understand that we have to get out of it. And here the quote also says that 25, because till 25 we are learning and exploring, right? And after that people just stop to learn and explore. But we have to make sure that we keep learning by working, but because we start working for after 25. But then people think that, oh, now I'm working, I don't have time to learn and gain more knowledge. But that is not right, and to explore as well. But you have to take out some time from your life, so that you make sure, maybe an hour or two, not much, but you have to make sure you get out that time, so that you learn and explore. Because that time will only help you to have a growth mindset, right? And do you know what is the best alarm clock in the world?
Rooster. A rooster.
A rooster? Yes, yeah, maybe, yeah, the rooster. But the best alarm clock in the world is purpose, right? So if you have a purpose, then you will understand that, then your eyes will open, and then you will be very much engaged in completing that thing. And people don't understand that if your sleep is more exciting than waking up, that means that your life isn't exciting enough. So you have to make sure that your life is so exciting that you wake up with excitement, that, oh, that, and you should have that thought that, oh, I have wasted my time in sleeping, and I have such a big purpose of serving the Lord, attending Mangala Aarti, right? Attending the Aarti, right? And our intention should not be, oh, now I have to go for Aarti. Oh, this is not what I want to do. That should not be intention. Our intention should be that, oh, just jump in and think that, oh, now we're going to go and attend the Aarti. Is so nice. Going to chant the names of the Lord. That should be our purpose. So that is how we have to look into it. And so what is that? The people that who are like they don't understand what is people don't get more, like they don't understand, they are not able to get more out of their potential, right? They are capable of getting more, but they just underutilize themselves, and they think that, oh, I will not be able to achieve that, I will not be able to achieve this and that. But we have to understand that small things which we do to improve ourselves, even like reading 5 minutes, will really help us to improve in our devotional life, in our spiritual life. Because Prabhupada has said that books are the basis, right? So if we have a strong base, then we can make sure that we can grow in the spiritual life, advance in our spiritual life, and not just in material activities. Because material and activities, whatever you do, is like a sand pit. You will just get engrossed inside that, and this is the only knowledge which will get you out of it. So we have to make sure that we engage more and more time in reading and chanting and all those things, and associating with the devotees. So having a growth mindset also, we should make sure that we get guidance, right? Because having a mentor is very important in spiritual or in material, but more so in spiritual life. Because it is rightly said that people who have a growth mindset, they would like feedback, right? And feedback is a breakfast of champions. So if you guys are champions, you should always have that attitude that I have to get a feedback, I have to have mentors. So that is why it's very important. And I'm very fortunate that in Bhakti Academy, you guys as well might realize this, that having a mentor really helps you, that to make sure that you are having constant check-ins with them, and you're discussing with them how your spiritual life is growing, and discuss your concerns with them. So it's very important that we have this conversation, so that we make sure that we are going. Otherwise, if we are not analyzing where are we will not grow. So that is why it's very important to have a sadhana chart, to analyze where are we, to have conversations with our mentor. And we should not have that attitude that, oh no, why would I want to discuss my personal life with someone, and we should not shy out of that oh, maybe that mentor might judge me or not. But or maybe that mentor might discuss my problems with somebody else. But we should understand that especially in Krishna consciousness, the mentors and everything, they are more than happy to help. right? They are more than happy to help. They are, when people come to them and ask them for problems and for solutions, they are more than happy to help, because they will not laugh and mock that, oh, he has a problem or something like that, which people do in the material world, right? But in the spiritual, among devotees, among the spiritual like mentors we have, they are very much more than happy, and they will guide you to the right path. And that is why, and we know that illusory energy is Maya, is doing double the work behind the devotees, right? Devi aisa gunamaya mama maya durateya. So we have to understand that Maya is working, and doing things in the material world, we will get engrossed. So having a guidance, having a having a sadhana chart, analyzing where are we, will really help us to understand where we stand and how can we grow. And the next thing is, I would say that challenges, right? If you're not challenging yourself enough, that means you're not growing enough. So you should always try to challenge yourself. But what people think that the opposite of easy is difficult. But do you know what is the opposite of easy? Okay, any other answers?
Not doing.
Failure.
Not trying.
No. The opposite of easy is impossible, right? So people think that, and difficult comes in the midway. But people have taken difficult to be the extreme, that they don't endeavor to to get themselves in challenges. But these challenges will only help you to grow. And Keshav Swami Maharaj always says the pain of discipline is uncomfortable, but the pain of regret is unbearable. So that is why we have to make sure that we are disciplined in whatever we are doing. We will face a lot of challenges in whatever we want to do, whatever timetable we have set for ourselves. But we have to make sure that we are analyzing at the end of the day where we stand and how can we improve ourselves. Because if we don't do that, then we will not improve. And there's a beautiful story of once there was a butterfly who was trying to get out of the cocoon, and a person was seeing that, and he felt very morose for the butterfly, and he wanted to help. So he just took a thin blade and just cut the cocoon a little bit, and then he saw the butterfly flying flying outside, and he was very happy. But then after 20 seconds, the butterfly just crashed down, and his heart stopped, and he's like, what just happened? Like, I was just trying to help. But then the thing is, the struggles allows you to give strength, right? The struggle of coming out of the cocoon would have given strength to the wings of the butterfly, so that the butterfly could have lived more and could have flown more. But that is what we don't understand, that we have to come out of a comfort zone and make sure that we are living on the edge. Then only we can grow. If we live on the edge, then only we can expand our horizon and then grow ourselves. Otherwise, if you are in a comfort zone, then you will not grow. So it's very important that you live in the edge and put yourself in challenges. The third point I would like to discuss about is taking responsibility. Right? So it's very important that we take responsibility to solve problems, because the greatest best gift of responsibility, it helps you to develop the quality of commitment, quality of consistency. Like, it is, in one of the research, it was found out that 90% of the people don't achieve what they aim to achieve just because of commitment and consistency. Right? So it's very important that we take responsibilities, right? Even in service, we should take responsibility to make sure that even sometimes where if someone is not able to, for example, Moni Prabhu is not able to assign services, you should go and take responsibility and take charge and ask and make sure that everyone is engaged and all those kind of things, and not think that, oh, I have not been assigned services, so I will not do services. But we should rather, be more committed and be consistent in our services, that we make sure that we are doing some kind of services, or, whatever what we are aiming to do. Because it's very, because Bruce Lee has also said that I don't fear the person who has practiced kicks for 1,000 times, but I fear the person who has practiced one kick 1,000 times. So it's very important that we commit to something and then we do that thing, and not just go here and there. Because first it's very important to understand that to become a master in something you have to dedicate 2 hours a day for 10 years of life. Now who is ready to give up that kind of commitment of 10 years, right? It's not easy. But then you see the results which you see will come slowly and gradually. But we want instant results, and when we don't get instant results we get frustrated. So it's very important to understand that a growth is going to be very gradual, and make sure that, yeah. I just wanted to finish off with the fourth and fifth point is the vision. That we should always have a vision. That if you are walking on the street and somebody asks you where would you like to be 20 years from now on, you should know that what goal you have, what vision you have for yourself, and understand that. Whatever you're doing whatever you are doing should have a purpose, should have a why first, and then you should decide on the what and the how. But what people do is they jump on the what and the how, and they don't work on the why, and that is why whatever they are doing just falls apart. They don't have a strong purpose, right? So that is why, and we have to understand that we should have a vision for us. And lastly, what I would like to mention is about making mistakes. So we should not shy away from making mistakes. The most successful people in the world are the people who have made the most mistakes. And children, they don't think before making any mistakes, because they are small, they don't understand. But when we grow older, we are very much confided, and we think that, oh, if I do a mistake, what will others think of me? But that should not be our thinking, right? We should go and make more and more mistakes, because mistakes will only help you. Yeah, you would like to say something?
Like, the example that you chose for kids making mistakes.
Yeah.
They would put their fingers in the plug.
Yeah.
After some time, they would come into the same thing again. Then they would get stuck under the table.
Yeah.
And then they would kind of, after some time, they would cry and come back under the same table. They are thoughtless. I don't think they're like Duryodhan. But one has to kind of think before doing something. So when you think before doing something, it's not wrong.
Yeah, but we should not think in a way that that I will make a mistake, and then people will mock me and those kind of things. That should not be our thinking. That we should try different things, new things. Try to change our schedule, try to change our timetable, our calendar. You would like to say?
Yeah, let's continue after that.
Yeah, so that we should not think that, oh, I will make a mistake, then that I will not do that thing because I will make a mistake. That should not be an intention. And and whenever children also, they do a mistake, and if they fall, or they get hurt, so they know that if they put their hand in the plug or something, and they will get hurt. So they also understand that I don't have to put my hand inside that, because they also learn like slowly and gradually. But the main point was that to learn from them that it's fine to make mistakes, it's okay. Because a rich businessman was asked that how are you so successful? He said, because of good decisions. So the next question, how did you make good decisions? Because of maturity. So then the next question, how did you come to mature? Because of bad decisions, right? So gradually, because of the mistakes only, you understand that where you have to go. But you have to make sure that you don't commit the same mistake again, and you learn from your mistake, right? English, what you were saying?
Do as many mistakes as you can.
Yeah.
But don't repeat the same mistake again.
Yeah.
That was mentioned by one of my CEOs, like in my early stage of my career.
Yeah. So it's fine to make mistakes, and yeah. You would like to say?
When we did first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Duryodhana was super excited, wasn't there thinking about anything, and appreciating his team members, somewhere pushing Dronacharya as well. Was completely like thoughtless person, like a child. But there was Arjun, who was giving attention to his thoughts, his emotions, his feelings. Somewhere he got controlled by Maya, attachment, and that's where you just kind of give yourself time. But I'm going to, it could be a very big mistake too. When you give yourself some time to think about the things properly, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, I'm not saying that you think.
Commit the mistake. After doing that, what if he had regretted or got the same emotions after fighting the battle?
Mhm.
If he had got the same emotions after fighting the battle, it would have been very difficult for him.
Yeah, over here we see that. Yeah, Manoj.
Just allow for more
Yeah. Any.
participation.
Yeah. If anybody would like to add in, yeah, go ahead.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you.
Do you have something related to his question?
Oh, it's not right.
It's not.
I can add something to this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've got in the class that you should, any decision that you make should not be based on the fear, like, what could go wrong. You should always be excited of how it could go right, rather than, most of our decisions are based on fear that, okay, what if this goes wrong, what if this goes wrong, and based on that we make some decision that, oh, because this could go wrong, I will not do this. But we are not actually excited about what could go right. So yeah, I would like to add that.
Yeah, exactly. We focus more on what could go wrong than what could go right, right? So focus should be that, oh yeah, this will go right. It's fine that we might digress and we might go wrong, but then we should always plan for the best and then leave the rest for whatever is going to happen. Yeah, you had something question?
So you mentioned point in the beginning that most you don't have to over endeavor for money because it's all predetermined.
Destined, yeah.
Yeah. So at the same time, Krishna in Gita says, Bhagavad Gita says that if you need wealth,
Mhm.
approach me. Arthati.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how does that go? So if someone is not predestined, he can go to Krishna or no? I mean, you got my question, right?
Yeah, I got your question. So the shloka which you mentioned is that it mentioned that 4 kinds of people which come to me. So it mentioned that artho arthati jigyasu. So people who want wealth, right? So that people who want wealth, they come to the Lord, and then they understand that, oh, I was looking for, like how Prahlad Maharaj says, I was looking for pieces of glass and what I got is diamonds. So in that process of getting wealth, they come to the Lord, they understand the knowledge, and then they understand that, oh, that wealth is of no use for me, but this knowledge is so much useful for me that it will get out of this material world and understand that whatever I am going through is because of my previous karma, and whatever is going through me is something which he will understand, and all this knowledge which he gains, he can use it in his life and then make his life more better. So this is what it is mentioned, that people who want wealth, they will come to Lord, and instead of the wealth, this is the greatest wealth, right? The greatest wealth is this knowledge, that monetary wealth is of no use, because when you die, that monetary wealth will be left over here. But what wealth is very much more important is this wealth. So this is the wealth which is more important, which in our life, which we should concentrate on, rather than just concentrating on the material wealth. Did I answer your question? Yeah. Hey, go ahead.
I just see the question like you said that we should not over endeavor for things.
Yeah.
And everything is destined, like happiness, distress, whatever outcomes are going to go.
Yeah.
But if you see the pastime of Sudama, he was not over endeavor because he knows that this is the reaction of my karmas of my previous life.
Yeah.
But he was a devotee of the Lord and a friend also. But still he was saying that no, this is all my karmas, I will bear this pain. But his wife said that you should go and take help of Krishna. But we say that everyone who is in distress, we go to Krishna to take our help. So how this goes?
Yeah, so there is a very fine line, that endeavor and over endeavor. We should not over endeavor, right? We have to put some efforts, like how Sudama put efforts, but not like going like, okay, like doing lot of efforts, because he did only little effort and then he got so much, right? But he did the effort. So that is the main point, that we have to endeavor but not over endeavor. We have to make sure that we have sufficient enough to make sure that we are able to maintain this physical body, but not so much also that we have enough body, enough money to maintain a body, and still we are like want to earn more and more money, because that is of no use, that earning more and more money. Yeah.
Related to his question, that Sudama didn't go for asking for money. His wife said that ask for money.
Yeah.
Then he said no. Then he said okay, just have darshan of your friend. So then he went. He didn't ask for money.
But he just went to see, and then Krishna then made sure that that arrangement was made. Yeah, so it is, but but still he went, right. So that is the main point, that we have to put efforts, little efforts, but not a lot of efforts, right? Like if we don't put efforts at all, then we will not get whatever we are destined to get also, right? If we are destined to get $500, if we don't work at all, then how we are going to get that? So we have to put efforts, little bit efforts, and like not more efforts, and then direct that other efforts to the devotional service. Yeah. Jai. Anybody would like to add anything else?
And destiny says work for 5 hours, then only $500 you will get.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Grantha Srimad